Hello, everyone, and welcome to my comeback episode of me driving to work. As always, I am your host slash chauffeur, BHCxDark. Name you can find it right over here. And as always, you can follow along on YouTube and Facebook at the Black Hood Crew, and then follow along at my name directly on Twitch, Twitter, Steam, Trello, TikTok, Instagram. Ah, so I am back. I've been gone for a week, and I'm back. So had a good time on my vacation. Somehow managed to get sick on my vacation, hence why I don't sound like myself and I'm constantly having to clear my throat. But thanks to the multitude of medications that I am taking, I should be fine soon. Um, it has been a very rainy past couple days, past week, past couple weeks, even today. It was a torrential downpour this morning. And since I'm still trying to nurse off this stupid sickness, I decided to spend the time in bed, try to recover from this mess, douse myself in all my medications, and so I'm feeling a little bit better, not 100%, but I am getting there. Come on, people. In the middle of the way. That never changes. People literally stopping in the middle of the road, thinking they run things, thinking they are the only ones out here when there's literally so many other people out there. But it is what it is. So we're gonna keep it going. Um, so the Mario movie is out, and I've only heard good things. Now, for those of you that were part of the podcast, the overrated podcast that I was on, where we talked about the movie before it came out, and before it came out, no, before we saw it, and there was a huge disparity between the critic score on Rotten Tomatoes and the audience score on Rotten Tomatoes. Huge disparity, and that number is only increased. That disparity has increased even more, which just goes to show critics don't know what the hell they're talking about. Viewer score all day long. I have not seen it yet. I will be seeing it this week because the people I was supposed to see it with went without me before I could even be there to see it with them. So I instead will be going by my damn self this week. Well, maybe not by myself. I have a friend who's already seen it, is going to watch it a second time, and figures going with me is a good opportunity. So I'm 100% down. Um, so yeah, please, no spoilers, no nothing, please. Um, in other news, there's still that war between Disney and Ron the Dumbass. So that's still a thing. So that's still a thing. And it's just going to get uglier and uglier. It's going to get to the point where Disney's just going to leave. They're going to shut down all operations here in Florida and find another state that's going to accommodate them as they were here before. I don't know how that's going to work out, but we'll see. I also heard that today, two people got let go from pretty prominent positions in the mainstream media. The first is Tucker Carlson, has been let go from Fox News, which is good news because that guy is toxic as hell. Finally. And then Don Lemon off of CNN also let go. The toxicity never ends, but they're finally cleaning out the trash. So that's a good thing. So let's see what else. What else? Oh, little bits and things here and there. Nothing anything really significant. Still got plans on the back end, things trying to switch things up. Obviously, back in my truck, which again, very happy for that. Little by little, gonna add things onto here, customize this even more to my liking. Already added on. I believe I said it on here last time. The Mythosaur skull symbol from the Mandalorian. Have that on the back of the truck. Got a couple other things I'm going to add here and there. So be on the lookout. Let's see. Yeah, and just a gloomy day, trying to make my way to work. As usual, traffic in front of me, traffic behind me. But what else can we do, right? What else can we do? Well, like I said, it's been very rainy, like all around. Hopefully it'll let up for a bit. Yeah, absolutely. I actually have my own Discord, if you can believe it. Uh, the chat down below is rebroadcasted through my Discord. So you guys can actually go there and and check it out. Like I said, this chat is a universal chat. So any comments posted here are rebroadcasted thanks to Restream to everywhere, including the Discord. So no matter where you're watching, it's all there. Um, so yeah, but yeah, definitely agree. Mario has huge fan base, and it's good to know that critics can be wrong, flat out wrong. Because at the end of the day, fans are going to fan, and they're going to enjoy the content. They're going to enjoy the film, show, whatever it is, to a degree. To a degree, I would say if it's well enough made and it stays faithful enough to source material, fans are definitely going to flock to it. They're definitely going to enjoy it. But if you deviate too far from that source material and it's not up to the quality that you would hope for to represent, the source material, the fans will bash it. Because I've seen that happen before. People can't drive. People can't drive. Good example of that is actually the Halo series that was debuted, I believe, it was on Paramount Plus. That was a complete disaster. I saw the whole thing just to give it a shot. It started out decent enough, but then it just nosedived right into the ground. And I was left wondering, like, did they even bother looking at the source material, playing the games, reading the books, like, at all? Because it definitely looks like they didn't, and it was sad. Uh, I do have a permanent link set up. Check one of my past videos from home, and it's in the chat section. If not, once I get to work, I'll um, I'll send it to you on Instagram of the link to join. But yeah, I don't post there regularly, but I do have access to it 100% of the time. And once again, this chat always available on there. Where's this guy going? Amazon truck drivers literally blocking an entire lane of traffic on a busy road. Come on, people. Perfect. This is my chance. Why do people think that's the sort of play? It's easy to just go into one of the back streets or into the parking lot and just deliver your packages there. When we see Mario want to do a spoiler review, absolutely. We got to make sure that, definitely got to put spoiler tags everywhere. Definitely. Come on, people, go. Let's go, folks. Don't you hate it when you're like cruising? I mean, you're not driving excessive speed, but at the same time, you're not driving incredibly slow. Then if some fool pulls out in front of you and he's driving literally half your speed, line's over there, so I'm not. Let's go. People. Yeah, I hate that crap. Just driving, somebody pulls out from a side street, you think, oh man, they're gonna take off, be quick, and nope, they don't do that at all. And then to make matters worse, it's literally somebody next to you, the exact same thing, driving slow. All right. Also, I believe we're going to have a huge trend of video game adaptations and movies for more games real soon. I hope so, because it's not like there's a lot of great games that can be adapted to film. Some might not work, and that's perfectly fine. I'm not expecting every video game to be adapted to a feature film. Some might actually be better as a limited series, maybe as a recurring series, with multiple seasons. Not everything needs to be a feature film, and I understand that. But yeah, there's no shortage of video games with great storylines, great character development, just great writing all around. That if it were to be turned into a feature film or even like a limited series, would absolutely be top shelf quality. So we'll see. As we see more successes, thankfully, Sonic kind of opened that door. Mario came in and showed that there can be continued success with a game to film model. So hoping that this is that trend. We see more games adapted to other media. And like I said, it doesn't necessarily have to be a feature film. Like some games would be better off as a series and as an episode based series, and that could be where they shine best. Um, but at least with the success of Sonic and Mario, there's that opportunity for studios to go, hey, there's money to be made by adapting a video game to an alternate media form. That just gives me hopes for the likes of, Zelda, Metroid, maybe a better Halo series or Halo film, um, where the original property is treated much better, where it's written and developed by people who understand the source material, who understand um, what it is to be, for these things to exist, you know? So that's what I'm hoping for. That this is just going to open more and more doors where the projects are being directed by actual fans, not just, you know, the full writer who's only ever heard of the original source material. Yeah, Metal Gear would be fantastic. I think that one would play out like a short series. I think that would be great as a short series, Metal Gear. Um, Gears of War, I could definitely see that one be, a big budget film, lots of action, lots of, guns blazing, destruction, with good storytelling going there. Metroid would be another one that I could see being one that's, based on an episode, um, maybe a multi-season thing with that one. So, you never know. You never know. But at least the door's open. There's opportunity there. And I'm hoping that they take this opportunity to do something. Because again, it's not like the fans haven't been asking for this. We gamers have been asking for our an alternate representation of our favorite games. And yes, attempts have been made in the past, whether it's made for TV or um, made for film, but they were done by production studios that are just like they don't understand the source material. Like they've probably seen like Let's Play on YouTube and said, "Oh yeah, we can make a movie about this," and then what comes out is complete crap. Instead, give me somebody who's an actual fan of the source material. Give me that. Like a perfect example of this is John Favreau and Dave Filoni. Now, if you know these two names, you know that these guys are powerhouses right now, specifically at Disney, because they're essentially running Star Wars. Dave Filoni created the Clone Wars, which was an absolutely fantastic animated show that kind of expanded on events that took place during the Clone Wars. And the reason why the show was so good is because the guy in charge, Filoni, is a fan of Star Wars. And that's why it was so good. Jon Favreau, who is executive producer on The Mandalorian, is a huge fan of Star Wars. And that's why The Mandalorian is so good. Now, not for nothing, Dave Filoni is also writing for The Mandalorian. So now you have two super fans, essentially with an almost unlimited budget, get to make Star Wars content. Like, how can you go wrong? And they haven't. They haven't. They haven't been able to go wrong. That's also the reason why I think the sequel trilogy didn't do as well, is because the people in charge of it were not Star Wars fans. In fact, I'm 100% sure that had Jon Favreau been allowed to direct and produce the sequel trilogy, it would have been amazing. It would have been absolutely fantastic. But unfortunately, they did not choose him. Or at least the project was not brought to his attention. I think he would have done a much better job, by leaps and bounds. But now that he's helming these other projects, Star Wars is getting better. It's getting better because you have fans actually behind the scenes and actually generating this stuff. They're making the content. They're filming the scenes. They're directing the action. They're picking the right writers, the right actors to bring these projects to a level of quality that that's actually surpassing the sequel trilogy in terms of just cinematic quality. You're getting better writers, better actors, better everything all around because you have fans doing the work. They're the ones making sure that the next episode of this show or the next Star Wars themed project is, it's going to be something good. And I think that's what we're finally seeing with the video game to film that's happening now with Sonic 1 and 2, Mario, and now there's actually going to be a Knuckles independent project to go along with the Sonic movie. So I'm like, you can't go wrong when the fans are in charge. Because they're going to make things the way they're going to want to see it the way a fan would want to see it. They're going to make the project like a fan would want to make that project. People who know the source material, who have played the games, who have read other support materials like comics and books that can go along with the games. Ultimately leading to a better representation of the product of the project when going from one medium to another. And ultimately, that's what we want to see, because we are fans. Those of us that consume this media, we are fans. And who better to do the job of transforming our favorite video game from an interactive media to a passive form of entertainment, or it's non-interactive, but you still get to sit there and enjoy all your favorite things about your favorite franchises and characters. Fans making the content, and you can't go wrong. Not even a little bit. All right, so I've arrived at work. God, fuck. I've arrived at work. We're going to go ahead and start making my way in. So I will be back here on the channel for the Black Hood Crew. Tomorrow, around 3:30ish again, right here on the same channel. That's the Black Hood Crew on YouTube and Facebook. and then my name directly on Twitch, Twitter, Steam, Trovo, TikTok, Instagram. So until tomorrow, to everyone out there, stay safe, be smart, and be excellent to each other.